handing over to Ms. Stefanie Hanssen. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. So, my name is Stefanie Hanssen and I'm the founder of Frau Tonis perfume in Berlin. It's close to this station here. It's at Checkpoint Charlie. And yes, and I will tell you something about my brand, my philosophy, and just my ideas, my inspiration. But first of all, I have to announce the death of a loved one, because my grandmother, Frau Tonis, the grandmother who is dedicated the store, has died at the age of 95. And I'm very sad because I'm standing here, but now my inspiration has died and I'm a little bit sad. So sorry. Because I owe so much to her. I have got to speak some words about my grandma, because my grandma was the woman in my life who inspired me so much, and it was a joy having her. And I will tell you a little bit about it. Because when I was a little child, I smelled her pure and clear fragrances. She wore always rose fragrances. It was not so typical in the 1960s and 70s, because I grew up in a little city in Germany. It was a mining city near Bochum and Düsseldorf, maybe you know. And my grandmother was a very special woman, and she was a pioneer, I think, in doing manufacture things. Yes, she was a very special woman. She had tailored clothes in the 1960s. It was very unusual to me, and everything she did came into me, and so I grew up with her idea of living, of smelling and eating, and so I would not be Stefanie Hanssen if I hadn't this grandmother. Well, she was, as I said, a very special woman, and let me have a look. And yes, the brand Frau Tonis is absolutely dedicated to her. Here you can see my grandmother in a big picture in the very clear store, and everything you can see is dedicated to her. We have got high quality and very special manufactured perfumes, and they speak for themselves. When I founded it in 2009, I did it without any campaigns, like, you know, for example, a lot of big brands do it with, yeah, they do it with sexiness and something else, but we don't do this. We just are clear and pure, and we offer 36 niche perfumes, from green to floral, oriental, and they open the olfactory memory of the wearers. So when you come to our store, you can recognize that there's something special about the high quality of these perfumes. And we always say that they bring back like magical moments, magical memories you've got in your mind, and if you smell them, because they are very, very unique. And we try to bring your memories back to the present. So of course, we are here in Berlin, and all fragrances are unisex. They are cruelty-free and handcrafted with great attention to detail. So this is a store with facade. As I said, we are close to Checkpoint Charlie. And I can say for Frau Tonis, class and style are symbols of a very luxury, but affordable luxury idea of perfume. For example, yes, take again a look at our perfumes and the design and packaging, and so I think you can see the idea of these fragrances. Maybe I can show you something like this here. When I founded the brand in 2009, I did it to do it a different way than all the other brands do it, because I really wanted to make them speak for themselves. And I had to put a vision in these bottles, because I really love to do it another way. Because when I do perfumes, I do it just in a way of inspiration. And I wanted to show you how it works at Frau Tonis, because we do it absolutely different, like the industry does. I really love traveling, and traveling is always an inspiration for me, because when I travel, I'm inspired. And I have traveling a lot to Egypt, because Egypt is like second home for me. I had been there a lot of, often on the River Nile, and I enjoyed it to be there, to smell the country, and to have a taste of jelly fruits and something else, and I really love to be there. And when I had been there 3 times, I came back and asked our perfumers to do a perfume for us, for Frau Tonis, with all these inspirations I had on the River Nile. It was not easy to do it, but it took 1 year to do a very, very unique perfume. I developed it with a perfumer in Switzerland. Of course, I'm autodidact, because I had never been a perfumer, but I work with high-class perfumers in France and in Switzerland, and our perfumer in Switzerland helped me to do this very, very special perfume, Thé Arabique. And maybe I can tell you something more about how it smells and how it works and why people love it, because it's one of our best-selling products. Maybe you can. I'm sorry, I haven't got a Thé Arabique now here, because it's easier to smell it, but maybe I can explain how it works. Because Thé Arabique is a smell of the markets of Aswan and Luxor, and I saw and tasted this blender of ripe fruit, golden jelly fruits, and I fell in love with the sweetness of the fruits. And of course, I drank really a lot of black sweet tea on the Nile cruise, because you sit there in the afternoon, 5 o'clock tea, and you can recognize, or you can talk about all the things you had seen there from the very early beginning of the day, because you had been to the temples or the Valley of the Kings, and you sit there and you drink your tea, and it's just a fantastic. And of course, this perfume smells a little bit like black tea. And another very special moment, maybe you know the old Cataract Hotel in close to Aswan, and we had sat there and we discussed the very, very beautiful temples and whatever we had seen, and they served us a very, very special drink, and so this drink also is a little bit of the aroma is there into this very special perfume. And when I came back from the River Nile, I talked to our perfumer, and I've got to make like a white screen and to sketch my ideas. And so he hadn't been there, but I had so many impressions, so I told him just to help me to do Thé Arabique. And as we walked on this perfume, I think nearly 1 year. It took a lot of ideas to have it in the end, and I'm very, very happy because when I use Therapeutics, it's like a perfumer shawl, and it keeps me warm, and of course it will help me through the autumn and the winter, and I really love this. And for me, fragrance are my world, I can tell you. Yes, and the idea to develop perfumes is always the same, because without inspiration, I wouldn't be able to do perfumes like that. And of course, for us, it's just beautiful to talk with people about scents. Which ideas do they have? Do scents remind them, for example, first kiss or beautiful holiday in Tuscany or whatever? Because I really think we should talk about scents. Our memories and our life is so much richer to talk and to discuss scents, and not only to use them for maybe for more attractiveness. Scents can be inspirations, and this is the idea of Frau Tonis, of course. Yes. There are a lot, I told you 36 scents at Frau Tonis, and there are so many new scents like Laundrette, for example. This is like a cotton scent, because everybody loves actually the scent of a very clear and minimalistic perfume. And yes, I hope in the next 10 years there will be a lot more scents, and maybe we can do a cooperation with Campari, like a good sundowner or what else. And yes, this is it. This is my brand, and how I work with fragrances, and just it's my passion. And if you have any questions, I would be pleased to tell you something more.
Well, I think I definitely have questions, but I always have questions. It's very interesting, the Thé Arabique, because I know that there are many perfumers that have gone to the same area and been very, very inspired. You know, Jean-Claude Elena, who was the former perfumer of Hermès, he made his first Hermès perfume, visiting the same and going down the river, and he was very inspired by green mangoes.
Yeah,
and for me, it's very fascinating that the aroma obviously is one of the senses that can bypass the brain, so you can have instant memories.
Yes,
and
of course.
How hard is it to get the scent from your head and out into the world?
Oh yes, I can tell you it's absolutely very, very hard, and sometimes we stop a progress because we can't finish it, because it's in my head, but it's not in the bottle. And so I think, sorry, we've got to stop it. But at Thé Arabique, it was fine, and 1 year is not so much time to do a perfume like this. I think in normal time, perfumers work 3 years and much more. 1 year is quick.
Yes. Because it's all about the perspectives as well, because 1 year is actually, as you say, quite quick. There are perfumes that have taken a lot of people a lot of time, but what is the fastest that you have ever made a perfume?
The fastest. Well, we did a perfume for VW, you know. They launched the e-Golf, and they asked us to do a perfume that smells in the first peak like gasoline. Because what will you miss when you drive an e-Golf? Gasoline. Yes.
They did that.
And they did it.
In the car?
And they pushed us and we did it. And we made a scent called Mémoire de Pétrole. And we did it in 8 months because VW said, we need it. Yes, we did
That's
it.
that's like people moving to the countryside and then asking someone to create a scent that smells like the city. You know, like
Yes.
I like this musky, dirty smell of the city, and I
Yeah.
want that back.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And so what does the numbers represent on your scent?
It's just by chance. No, it's not like a chronology. No, I'm sorry. But if there is a space for number 17, we said Laundrette is our number 17. And so, sorry.
And a lot of the scents, they are very rooted in Berlin, because you have the Linden,
Yes.
Berlin,
Yeah.
you have Berlin, you have Berlin Summer.
Yes,
Yes.
Berlin Summer, Berlin Orange.
So it's also
Yeah.
an homage to the
Of
city.
course, of course. I live here since 2004, and I'm very happy to be here. I couldn't live otherwise in no other city. And so it's obvious to do 4 scents dedicated to the city. And of course, a lot of people ask, do you have a scent that smells like Berlin? And everybody knows the alley unter den Linden. And the idea to put lime trees, linden, into the bottle, it's perfect. Everybody loves it. It's just absolutely a best-selling product, and as I like it very much.
Can I ask?
Yes, of course.
So you're building up a perfume. You've got a scent in mind. Do you have to start in a certain order? Like, do you start with kind of woody, heavy notes first, and then add kind of higher, volatile floral notes? And if you're doing that, you're sending it to a perfumist. Are they starting with a base
No.
and you're building it up?
No, no.
How does the?
No.
Sorry.
No, it works other ways. Of course, there's a sketch and a vision. The perfumer knows what to do first, because the first impression will leave after 30 seconds. So there must be something special. You put it on your skin and there has got to be an you love it at the first sight. And then 1 hour later, you've got to smell and there's a heart. And the basis is 7 hours later or 5 hours later. And this is the secret of the perfumer, because I have got to ask him to do the big picture, and he cares for the details.
Okay.
So everybody works, yeah.
And do you have some perfumes that are designed to last like longer and some that last a shorter time?
Yes, because citrus always is very flutely citrus scents. They stay on your skin, I think, approximately 2 hours, and Thé Arabique lasts 1 day.
Okay.
And some people think it's too heavy, but it's the character of the perfume. You can't change it.
And I think this is also the difference, because it's not just the scent or the perfume, it's also the person wearing it. Because
Yes.
the difference between a good perfume, not like generally, but like a good perfume for you, is the difference between someone saying, oh, your perfume smells
Absolutely.
nice, or you smell nice. Because you can't distinguish the two.
Because different people
The scent
smell.
becomes
They
you.
don't all smell
Yes.
the same
Absolutely.
with the same perfume. It's
Absolutely.
So when
It's
you wear
personal.
something, I wear something, it'll smell
like
different.
completely different.
Exactly.
It's because I eat different foods
Yeah.
and drink different drinks. You know, it's coming out of my
Yeah,
skin.
because you eat Irish stew.
So
That's very
oh,
pleasant.
sorry.
Yeah.
I carry one of these around, right? This little guy. Have you ever? Do you have smaller versions of
Yes,
the
we have.
scents?
Oh,
okay.
of course
and
we
you would
have.
recommend that sort of thing or not?
Yes, because they are easy for traveling. You know, you can take 2 or 3 small sizes with you, and there is no stress at the airport or something. And I use them every day. I can't go without them, because the big bottles, okay, they stay at home, but to go on a trip or just to go to work, I need the small.
And you
sizes.
can refresh.
Yes.
Like you
Yes,
said,
yes.
2 hours. After a few hours, you can put
You
some
should.
fresh smell.
You should.
Okay, cool.
And so, for example, with scents, there can be there are certain scents, perfumes that are very technically interesting and built in a very interesting way, but they are not necessarily beautiful.
Yes.
Because it can be also not, I mean, ugly, but
Special.
challenging.
Yes.
You know, in the same way that certain drinks, they are not always delicious. They are interesting.
But
You know, but there's a reason why they exist still.
there might be some nostalgia in things as well. Sometimes you got a certain smell, a certain flavor that you didn't like at the beginning, but it's attached to a fond memory, and then you start to like it more and more. For me, anyway. Like I attach memories to flavors a lot. Sometimes I've had such an intense memory around one spirit that I stop drinking that spirit so that I don't dilute the memory. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes.
Yeah, like I don't drink Malibu anymore because I had a fond memory this one time and I drank a lot of Malibu, and now I just don't. If I smell it, I think of Spain, so I just stopped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But maybe if you try to, it would remind you of the beach.
It might smell different. It might smell different.
Have you ever had a incident where someone walks into the store and smells something and they have instant reaction, but it brings them back to something completely different?
Oh, let me think. To Frau Tonis, there come a lot of fans of Marlene Dietrich, and they're absolutely curious about the scent we offer, because we've got the scent made in the late 1920s. The scent is pure violet, and it's very, very extraordinary. You can imagine a film diva like Marlene Dietrich is wearing a very, very intense violet perfume, because in the 1920s perfumes were totally different. And so the fans of Marlene Dietrich, they are absolutely curious about this perfume, and they come and they smell, and they are absolutely surprised, because our nose is not used to smell such strong ingredients. There are so many aromas, so you think the violet fills the room, and it's not only at the person; it fills the room, and so of course they look for a perfume a diva has used, but they're not really sure if this perfume fits to normal people. So it's really a strange effect.
You need a certain level of confidence to wear a perfume when you walk in, the whole room smells of that perfume.
And so I can tell them, you can use this to go out in the evening and to feel a little bit higher and more like Marlene Dietrich and not like yourself.
Yeah, a social elevation perfume.
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Never looked at it that way. Very cool.
You should have a look or a smell.
The only person I can, in my own memory, remember had a very specific smell. My 5th grade teacher wore vanilla perfume that everyone in the school, all the kids, you could smell her when she entered the room, like straight away. It was so distinct. So it was vanilla.
And do you like it?
Yeah, I love vanilla.
Oh, you love it.
Yeah, I always loved vanilla.
Okay.
And so, before we let other people have questions, I want to ask one thing, because there's a big discussion in the perfume world these days about naturals and synthetics, and we have a very similar discussion in the bar world when it comes to our ingredients as well, because obviously in a lot of perfumes now there are synthetic ingredients which are better quality than the naturals.
Yes, of course.
And it's very rare that you can make a perfume that is going to last and be very high quality only with naturals, because they are so challenging to work with. And I mean, like Chanel No. 5 was the first and most famous perfume that used synthetics, and a proof that it is something to be.
It's possible to make a good one with synthetics.
Yeah, it's not about it's not a bad thing to use synthetics.
Absolutely.
And also for the allergies. And so, do you think in the future of perfumes will be very different if there comes this ban now, this change of legislation that is proposed?
I think we will do it 50-50 because a flower scent, we've got Rose de France. It works with beautiful roses from Grasse, and I would miss them so much if I hadn't those beautiful roses. We take them in July or in June, and we need them. And if somebody said, oh, you can't use them anymore because of allergenic problems, I would rather stop this, because I can't imagine that these flowers could be absolutely made on this synthetic way. Sometimes it works, of course. Sometimes it's easier to do it, like Ambroxan, because we all in our beauty business don't work anymore with amber. You know, there's a problem. It's not there. It's too special, and so the whole industry works with Ambroxan, and I think it's doing absolutely well. Our first perfume now with working with Ambroxan is Elixir Isotopique, and people love it. Absolutely, they love it.
And I think, yeah, because this is also the problem. Like, what do you do if your favorite scent all of a sudden has an ingredient that is not allowed to use anymore, and it disappears?
Oh no!
You would miss it, right?
Yeah, and it even happens in spirits. A brand will start in one country and then export, for example, from the UK to the US.
Yeah.
And an ingredient that's legal in the UK isn't
Oh,
legal
yeah.
in the US. Does that kind of happen with perfumes? Is there some things that you have to avoid?
Not yet, but nobody knows. Of course, and of course, I know all the problems we can have, the industry can have with the EU regulation. Sometimes it's too hard, absolutely too hard, and then we've got to find a way to go on with the perfume, like, so it's okay for the EU.
So let's see if there's any questions from the room.
Everyone's been very quiet so far.
On the second day of BCB, energy is mellow.
I actually have two questions. So one, is there a seasonality for the perfumes? Like in the summer, should I use something more, I don't know, citrusy or flowery, and in the winter something more woody or earthy?
Yes.
Or I can use the same one like all year long? And the second one is, if when you think about a perfume, you think about the final customer, or you just do it for yourself. Like, because when we think of a drink, of course, our taste is not the same as the customer taste.
Okay.
So we might rebalance it to make it more affordable to the customer taste. Do you do the same thing with the perfumes?
I start with the second question. Sometimes I do perfumes because I miss them myself, like Thé Arabique. I didn't talk to anybody of our customers whether they would miss it or not. I missed it, and so I developed Thé Arabique. But this one here, the Laundrette, the number 17, people ask so much about a perfume with a light and minimalistic basic. It should smell like cotton, linen, like a bed in a hotel room. And they ask 1,000 times, and so I became weak, and I asked my perfumer to do a very special one, and so we developed this one here, the Laundrette. Sometimes, but back to your first question. There are people who work with perfumes from season to season. I don't do this because I just look on the inside, and I just want to know how do I feel in the morning or at the afternoon. And it's not necessary whether for me it's summer or winter. It's me. I need inspiration from scents, and so I do it. And but of course, a lot of people love to wear citrus scents in spring, because everything starts new, and citrus scents are perfect for spring. And of course, like I said, Thé Arabique, it's like a pashima shawl, and you can wear oriental exotic fragrances then in the autumn and in the winter because they keep you warm. Absolutely. And they help you to relax. Okay.
Other questions? Yes.
Can we find you also in different countries in Europe, or just in Germany?
You can find us in Switzerland and in Austria, and we have got, of course, an online shop, and we can send them all around Europe. We are working on it because sometimes it's not so easy to put perfumes easily to GB because there are so many problems now. We would love to send them to GB, but it's not easy.
Well, and you also have a perfume that is called Cocktail Hour.
Yes, we have.
Yes. So
Yes.
what was the inspiration for that?
It's the day is done, work is done, and I need something to relax. And maybe there should be an alternative to have a drink or to have a very special smell around your skin. And so we developed Cocktail Hour. So this is the alternative.
Part relaxing, part mischief, part
Yeah.
anything can happen.
Part positive, part naughty, all the little bits.
Anything else that you would like to add? No?
I'm fine.
Well, then
you.
I think we will
Yeah.
say thank you so much, and
Thank
we
you.
will come back in 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.